In the UK at this time of year, as the clocks change, the winter nights grow long, dark and cold. But it's also a time of ensuring that you're as warm and cozy as possible, whilst enjoying the often clearer night skies and illumination of Christmas lights and lamplit streets. Because of this, I thought it would be fun to create a video on some of my coziest night skies in gaming, both new and old. Not all of them, of course, I've played too many games, but certainly a few that always stand out to me and remind me of comforting times in the cold night. So please.
Stay a while and listen.
I spent more time in this camp around this fire than any other location in this game. And at the time, and even still for me now, the soft glow of the fire and lighting effects against Edge's character model as he approaches the fire, just blow me away. It was one of those small details and achievements many of us were loving during this generation, or this new generation of 3D back then. But the camp, area at nighttime, in the open barren plains under the stars, cloudy sky, it's just super chill. And as you venture into the store, as well, which is open at nighttime, you get to see some of those wonderful greens and blues, which I guess they promote an almost magical-like aura. Something this game just oozes. Adding to the wonderful ambient soundtrack of the camp, and this place for me is one of my most nostalgic and cozy nighttime levels in any game.
何かあったらまた寄ってくれよ。
On my channel, we've been here before in these Pilot Wings 64 skies, right? So if you know me by now, I absolutely love this game, and I've spoken about it a few times on this channel. But still, the Birdman nighttime feels of this game just cry out peak relaxation. I spent the most time in this area of the game, the first Birdman area, Holiday Island, I think it was, around the central small island, lots at sunset, but also loads at nighttime. I used to try to fly to the moon. I'd be smashing the A button, like there was no tomorrow, but ultimately, you're destined to fail. You're like Icarus, although he's going towards the sun and going towards the moon. It didn't matter though. Slowly soaring around the islands, passing other gliders, skimming the water's surface, or just chilling on top of the highest tower and taking in the view and snapping some pictures with the camera. One of the most beautiful, chill gaming modes ever. And once again, that beautiful, let me say it again, people, that beautiful peak Birdman gaming music to glide to. Flying through the night sky, like Michael Jackson in Speed Demon, which I would watch as a kid, or the Lost Boys when they're flying above the clouds. It's just a dream come true in this game. I wish more games. I wish we had more games like this. A lot of people don't understand Shenmue, but there's one thing I need you all to understand, and is that Yokosuka is a vibe, especially at nighttime. There are few environments in any other games that can boast to have such an intimate, functioning and lively experience, in my opinion. But of all the areas of Yokosuka, I feel Dobueta, the main district of the game, as you walk around it at nighttime, and walking in this game is so much more important than running people. Trust me. It's Dobueta is just one of those most relaxing experiences I've had in gaming at nighttime, and Shenmue also has that soundtrack to accompany you at such times. It's almost ambience, capturing a moment in time. Sometimes at everyday moments. But that's what Shenmue is primarily about. Observing those everyday moments and everyday things. Like you are seeing them for the first time. And for my usual Sega plug, Yu Suzuki is a gaming god. Shenmue is Crom tier. The Dreamcast should have succeeded, and Sega and Sega consoles, and they were just better than what Sony and Microsoft have continued to deliver, to us, All right, sorry, time to chill out, and you just all need to play Shenmue. Beyond Good and Evil is one of the best games Ubisoft has ever made, and although it's set on the alien world of Hillis, this game, directed by Michael Ansel, is a love letter to planet Earth and how biodiversity, friendship and family and everything else are integral to a living world. I first played and completed this game on the PS2. As it launched on our system first back in the day, but then as soon as the GameCube version was released, I traded in my PS2 version and completed it again on the GameCube, and the difference in graphics and performance were immediate from the first moment. You see the tree in the intro, but it's at this tree where Jade's home is. Her uncle Paige and the children they are looking after. After this war on Hillis continues around them. But even amongst all this disruption and tension, you can return here at nighttime and just marvel at how beautiful this game is and how it once again illustrates how beautiful nature is. You can hop into your home, take on the cozy treehouse like vibes of your house, and for me this is another area in a video game I'll always remember. And if you want, you can head out onto the open waters, at nighttime, and do some nature watching and stargazing in your hovercraft. The amount of time I spent just driving around on my hovercraft in this game, because the day and night cycle is just absolutely gorgeous. Very few gaming games have a vibe like this. I miss this Ubisoft. And the Home Sweet Home theme, the ending theme to this game is just peak gaming OST, people. I don't have much to say about nighttime in Animal Crossing New Horizons, other than, this is the time of day I'm most accustomed to seeing in this game, due to me gaming more in the evening and at nighttime, primarily because I'm a working man, and, as you all know,
I got 5 kids to feed.
The most chill nighttime experience you can have, I think, and it can last, all night, because Animal Crossing, works on a 24-hour clock, as we know. If you're lucky, you'll see shooting stars falling in the night sky, the moon's phases, sometimes fireworks, depending on the occasion, and soon to be New Year's Eve celebrations, memories I'll never forget due to playing with good friends. Animal Crossing is just peak chill and peak nighttime chill with those nighttime musics and those vibes. Just beautiful. If I was ever going to live in a village in a video game, then I think Hateno Village in Breath of the Wild would be the place for me. The laid-back villages, the windmills, cottages, animal life, both domesticated and wild, and at nighttime, all under a stunning night sky that changes, just moment to moment. And also in a game where the sunsets still to this day are just visually the most beautiful things you'll see. Adding that Hateno night theme, oh man, which I personally consider to be one of the best Zelda songs just ever. Nintendo have always achieved one thing with Zelda games, in my opinion, and that's the ideal sleepy, cozy village. And Hateno is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of that. Take in those beautiful night skies whilst listening to that Hateno theme, people. My youngest daughter, she didn't care too much about adventure in Breath of the Wild, but she pretty much just lived in Hateno Village. But it's just peak gaming. Another game with a 24-hour real-world clock is the World of Warcraft. A series and a game I've done myself a great injustice with not talking about it enough on this channel yet. But during my peak WoW gaming era, and I was there not just at its launch, but also when I was playing the beta back in 2004, before the full game launched. You have to understand that it was like coming from... I was coming from the peakness that was Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne expansion, and entering Azeroth in a full 3D open world, unlike pretty much anything else that had come before it. For me, nearly nothing else compares. I'd play that game into the wee hours of the morning, so gaming at nighttime in Azeroth was a vibe all unto itself. Whether you're running across the rugged barrens with the classic barrens theme, or prepping yourself under the purple trees of like Darnassus or something. The nights of WoW can often be more relaxed as you walk around the world, than full of danger, and it's often during these nights that the world truly can be felt in its life-changing aura. I spent an ungodly amount of time in the Barrens, and its atmosphere at night and its music will remain with me forever. A soundtrack I still listen to this day. Just too many memories. And lastly, we have Satoru Marsh at night. Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the best JRPGs ever made, and I said that when I completed it on the Wii when it came out. But out of all the areas at nighttime in this game, the vibes from Satoru Marsh and RFC, as well as simply on another level. How often are we able to both roam and bask in the glory of unique looking game worlds like this? Very few developers create games that look like this. First seeing the trees begin to glow in Satoru Marsh, was like walking into a dream, and all fears of enemies were replaced by a sheer mesmerizing beauty, and of course the most tranquil and beautiful soundtrack you've ever heard. And on another cosmic level, you have RFC. I honestly don't know what else to say. Just look at this night sky.
Look at it!
Beautiful on levels our human eyeballs just struggle to comprehend. And once that soundtrack, people, once that soundtrack kicks in, I stood in both areas, both of these areas for what felt like hours, just taking in that nighttime beauty. This is what gaming is all about. So there we have it, people. Some of the nighttime chill places I love in my gaming life. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment and I'll reply as always. Also, I was told that I should make up a farewell saying after my videos. Kind of like a catchphrase or something. I think after all my videos, I normally say take care all and peace. But after giving it some thought, and even in this video, there's one word I use quite often. And seeing as I quote this word all the time on my channel, in life and on my socials, from now on, I think I'll change my ending to take care all and stay beautiful. Yeah, I'll try that for a while. Oh, and that's also another reminder for you all to play Beautiful Joe. So yeah, take care all and stay beautiful.